Sun Belt Conference Pitcher of the Year. So it's perfectly for Rembert. Climbs in the box. Jacob Morrison ready to roll. And so are baseman, 2 for 3 yesterday, 7 hits in the postseason. And a fastball at 92 up in the shortstop prospects in America. And playing like an upperclassman this postseason. 351 on the year. Plenty of pop, which we've yet to see in the first 4 games here at Plainsman since the end of the regular season.
Yeah, we've seen the speed, right? He had a leadoff hit, infield hit in the first inning yesterday, where Dooley charged the ball, tried to barehand, didn't know if he needed to barehand, but we saw the speed. But you're right, the power is there.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Rembert. Jacob Morrison at 6 feet 8 inches tall, did play basketball in high school, also was a standout tennis player. He got knees and elbows flying all over the place tonight here off the bump.
I'd like to know what the serve was. I mean, if he's 94, you know, throwing the baseball, what do you think the serve was at?
I just don't want to be on the other end. Morrison played high school basketball, baseball, and tennis. Multi-sport letter winner at Flushing High School. Good take by Rembert and a full count. Well, the start for Auburn, obviously critical. Rembert, the back of the box. Toe on the line in the payoff. Over to third. Mitchell to first base, and it's in time. Walker Mitchell, nothing easy about that start, but he handled it.
Well, how about it? So you had last game that infield hit on a play that wasn't made, and now you got a little team that's relaxed. Walker Mitchell, nice job right there. Gets to his feet quick and makes a strong throw. Both coaching staffs, to me this morning, talked about that. They felt like the guys were trying to do a little bit too much. The crowd was good, electric, and it was almost like, hey, just sit back and play the game that you're used to.
Freshman Bub Terrell, big cut, out in front at 87. 0 for 4 last night after the MVP performance a weekend ago here in the Auburn Regional. Crazy scores already coming across today, including Arizona in comeback mode in Chapel Hill, now a 10-8 lead against Carolina. Miami extending Louisville Super Regional, a Game 3 winner-take-all tomorrow. Terrell fouls it straight back. And he'll try to bounce back after that 0 for 4 performance late last night into the early morning hours of this Saturday.
Yeah, that's the fun part about baseball, right? You're on fire, feel like you're barreling everything up, can't get out, and then a couple days pass, and all of a sudden now you can't get one in play.
Fastball high at 94. No, Kevin Schnall talking post-game after the 7-6 win. Said the crowd was electric. It was a factor for us early. And Terrell strikes out the first for Jacob Morrison. Well, the stuff is filthy to start for the Sun Belt Pitcher of the Year.
Yeah, it's a true 5-pitch mix. I mean, he goes 12-6 hook right there. I mean, that's a ball that's about belt high, so a hitter's eyes get big. They think they got the pitch they want to hit, and boy, bottom falls out.
Now the wings are flapping the arms in the Auburn dugout and throughout Plainsman Park. That means it is Ike Irish time. And the first pitch off speed, called strike 1.
Well, if he gets that pitch, a little high breaking ball, because it's a big 12-6, so it looks like a ball out of the hand, especially from the 6-8. If Auburn hitters take that pitch, that's a free strike he can get.
Irish smashes 19th homer of the season. Irish smashes 19th homer of the season yesterday. Or was that early this morning? It was after midnight, it felt like, but maybe not. Strike 2. The first time ever Auburn has hosted a super regional in its baseball history. Last appearance in Omaha 2022. It was 2019 before that. Well, the arithmetic indicates it's once every 3 years. They would be on track this season. Curveball misses. It's 2-2. Yeah, those last 2 trips to Omaha coming on the road, winning in the Supers. 94 and inside and a full count to Irish. Well, power versus power here. Irish projected to be a first-round draft pick next month. Morrison certainly is capable in his career as well of achieving that. And the payoff. Irish had to stay back, and he fouls it away. Now Morrison, he's going to throw you the hook at any point in the count, and he's got full command early.
Well, it's not only the hook, too. It's a slider, and it looks the same, but it's just a little bit harder, right? So it's a big breaking slider. He mixes in the cutter. It's a true 5-pitch. We haven't seen the changeup yet, but he's got that in the back pocket as well.
3-2 inside, and Irish draws the walk, and a great take. The starting right fielder for Butch Thompson today. Irish will talk things over with Colby Thorndike over at first base. And so a lefty-lefty matchup again. It's Cooper McMurray. Top of the 8th in Chapel Hill. Wildcats, designated home team with a 2-run advantage. And the right-handed offering settles in low at 93. And what a luxury to be able to start the League Player of the Year in the Sun Belt in a game, too, where you've already claimed the first win in this Super Regional on the road. McMurray high in the air and backing out of play. Kevin Schnall in his first season as the skipper in Conway after working with the great Gary Gilmore, the Hall of Famer, all of those seasons, winning the 2016 National Championship. Fingerprints of Gilly all over this Coastal program. Talked about it a little bit last night. Two was able to check his swing. He was not, and the strikeout for Jacob Morrison, his second of the inning. Sebastian Alexander getting the start again in left field today. Redshirt senior out of Mayfield, Ohio. Bunts it towards the mound. Alvarez gives way to Snow. And there's 2 away on 2 pitches.
2 pitches, 2 outs, 2 plays. Eric Snow tests him a little bit to the left. Now he come charging in. Nice job. Quick throw, the transition from glove to arm to release. I love how Andreas Alvarez attacked the ball, but hey, Snow calls him right off.
I was going to ask you, who was in charge there?
No, that's the third baseman. He's going that way. You still love the confidence in the pitcher to attack it, but yeah, give away to the third baseman.
Have you ever seen a moment twice, like what we saw early this morning with Blake Barthol at second base defensively?
That was just to see it happen once, right? You're like a huge play. Then all of a sudden, it's mirror image in the same exact thing, full extension, and Auburn's base runner again goes off the bag. Talked with Gabe Gross this morning. He said, like, we just kind of let the game affect us. He said, like, you practice this all year. Just do what you got to do. Don't try to make anything special. But boy, he was special in that play.
To second, ironically, Chris Rimbert is there. 3 up, 3 down in 5 pitches, scoreless through 1 in Auburn. There's 1 away.
Both offenses are ready to swing the bat. You know, something that Auburn did a nice job. The 2-out walk by Ike Irish made Jacob Morrison work a little bit more. 24 pitches in the first inning. Obviously, he still puts up a 0, but he gets the pitch count up a little bit in the first. And we just mentioned Alvarez, 5 pitches, 3 outs, and then all of a sudden, still 1 pitch, 1 out.
Off speed at 85. out of the zone for ball 1 to Eric Snow. A couple of slick plays at third base already in this game. 1-1, former AAC Defensive Player of the Year at South Florida. Hitting .307 with 8 home runs, 1 last night. Lance, the advantage of being 6'8" on the mound. Hard to replicate that height, the release, and then the arsenal of pitches we've talked about. That is a serious weapon for Coastal Carolina. You start to think about today and then maybe a little bit deeper in the World Series. I mean, this is a guy that's going to create all kinds of matchup problems.
Well, I mean, just like you said, the angles that he creates, the slider looks like it's going straight down, right? If the fastball, he can pitch down in the zone. He also likes to pitch up in the zone. Then you pitch up in the zone, you got the big 12-6 curveball. Do you give up on as a hitter? So, I mean, again, that's why you see 11-0, 2.1, less than 2 walks per 9 inning. Potential first-round draft pick this year. I know I talked to a couple scouts. They're in the stands trying to make that decision. Is he on the fringe of the first round? Is it the second round?
We got first-rounders potentially all over Plainsman Park this weekend. Curveball is hammered foul. Well, Morrison, too, we mentioned he played tennis and basketball. His mom played basketball at Saginaw Valley State, while Dad was a fullback at Central Michigan. So there's an inherent level of toughness ingrained there from both sides.
And that's the part I love, that if trying to do that down away, trying to pitch at the knees with the fastball down away, it opens up so much more of the plate and to be able to go up in the zone when he wants to.
Full count, and now the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up for Eric Snow. And Snow's just one of those players, it feels like he has seen everything in his career. At the dish, in the field, at all those different positions. Will not be rattled. Big pitch here. And a great take. A 1-out walk issued to Snow, the second for Morrison. Bristol Carter again will get the start in center field. He'll climb in the batter's box near the back. The runner at first in center field. He'll climb in the batter's box near the back. The runner at first.
Auburn's offense has done an outstanding job this year. It's 285 walks coming into this game, right? So able to lay off the tough pitches is going to be a huge thing for the Auburn lineup.
Carter out in front, the sophomore. Transfer from East Carolina.
You know, the tough thing about when you have a pitcher that's up there that you know is a strike thrower, it makes you as a hitter want to be a little bit more aggressive, and then you see what you see right there, a ball out of the zone that a hitter uncharacteristically chases.
Carter towards right. Pato was there for out number 2. Snow will get back to first base. Blake and Pato, what a weekend it's been for him so far. Already 2 home runs and solid job out there in right field. The man in teal wearing 22. Freshman catcher Chase Fralick banged up a little bit midway through game 1 of this Super Regional. They taped up that left wrist and hand and was good to go afterwards. Speaking of bright futures, he certainly has one. 86 on the inside corner.
Little cutter to get ahead in the count.
Good speed for Snow. He does have 4 stolen bases this season. Scoreless game, the top of the 2nd. 0-2.
Well, yesterday, with Flukie, with Kotak, with Lynch, they showed that they were going to try to throw the ball in to all of Auburn's left-handed hitters. And that's exactly what we've seen so far with back-to-back cutters into Fralick.
Already 2 strikeouts for Morrison. Fralick gives this one a ride. Down the right field line, all the way towards that corner. Pato had to race to get there. Here comes the relay throw. It won't be made. It's 1-0 Auburn. Eric Snow scores from first base on a single to right field. 6-hole again for head coach Butch Thompson. Senior from Ocala. Fralick at first base. He comes up with the first clutch hit this game, too. It's so important to get off to that good start. I mean, you could say it last night, then Coastal Carolina came roaring back, but for a team that's got its back against the wall, you want to come out and grab that first lead.
Well, absolutely. You talk about momentum of the crowd. The crowd was electric last night, sellout, the biggest crowd in Plainsman Park history. But Coastal Carolina, after that first inning,
back to Morrison for out number 3.
Yeah, they shut it down after that first inning, took that momentum. So it's big. But it's going to be a tough ball to put on the ground. So yeah, nice easy out for Morrison.
Walker Mitchell takes the off-speed pitch out of the zone at 79, and a ball and a strike to the sophomore third baseman. 276 on the year, and Walker in search of his first hit this weekend. 3 hits a weekend ago in Conway, and here comes Eric Snow. Robin Shauna clears a base, hits like it's his job.
Disheartening for a lineup. You square a couple balls up, right? We've seen Bodine, his first at bat, just right there. Mitchell, you square balls up and they don't fall. That starts to put that pressure on you. Like, oh man, like you mentally, if you let that affect your next at bat, that's how you fall yourself into a little hole.
Well, Mitchell last night, too, had a couple of pitches that he just missed. Glove pops off of Fralick, and it's 2-0. You mentioned that in a couple of circumstances. He was up to bat and fouled off a handful of offerings, but was close. That game in Chapel Hill still going on the bottom of the 8th inning, and a 2-run lead for Arizona. Now Thorndike named the most outstanding player of the Conway Regional last weekend. And the 1-out free pass gets us to Blagan Pato. Remember, he began his college baseball career at Longwood. 31 starts there a year ago, now in Conway. Emerging at the right time. Efficient start for Alvarez, but dealing with his first base runner. Thorndike at first.
Postseasons like this, like Pato's having, and all of a sudden you look up next year and you go, man, the dude had an amazing junior year. All of a sudden, all conference, all this, all that. And then, what do you contribute it to? A lot of that postseason success. Being able to take that toward the end of the season, confidence, roll into an off season. And so you're talking about a guy, and that's what we're seeing with Alvarez as well on the mound, but a guy like Pato being able to have this kind of success. Obviously, you want it to continue if your team continues, but still, for the next year, this is everything you want to see from him.
0-2 from Alvarez, and Pato swings right through it. First strike.
Talk about why you like to see guys with fastballs pitched late in the season. You're talking about guys who are now 200 plus at bats, right? They've been to the plate. The arms are tired. They're getting there. It's getting hot. Bats are a little bit slower. The bat speed's not there, so you get a guy with a good fastball, tough to catch up with.
Top of the 9th inning now at the Bosch in Chapel Hill. Arizona still leading UNC 10-8. Wildcats the designated home team, so the Tar Heels with 3 outs to work with there. And if that score holds up, winner take all game 3 tomorrow, just as we have already seen between Miami and Louisville. Game that ended shortly before we came on the air. 9-6 the U came back against the Cardinals. Alvarez dealing to start 1-2.
I mentioned the true 4 pitch. That's the changeup. It's back-to-back changeups. Found the release point after the 1 down, so got back in the strike zone. He will show you all 4.
Now Ty Dooley last night saw his 32-game reaching base streak come to a screeching halt. Love to start a new streak today. carry that into Omaha with one more win in Auburn. To Fabian. Chanticleer strand a runner on the free pass and have a 1-0 lead. Now takes ball 3. Well, Duke trailed early against Murray State in Durham. Jack McCombs Field, and now is roared back. Grab a 7-2 advantage. Over to Dooley at shortstop. Rembert hustling, but Dooley delivers in time for out number 1.
Morrison just trusting the fastball down the way. Found himself in a tough little hole, 3-1, right? You got the lineup flipping over. Second at bat, these guys getting an opportunity to see Morrison, but something about the old fastball down and away that always plays.
Bub Terrell in search of his first hit in this Super Regional.
There's frustration right there. You can see the head's pulling a little bit. He spins out of the box.
It's been a great tournament overall. 8 for 16, but 0 for his last 5 after 8 for 11 last weekend, and was named the MVP. Pitch number 50 from Jacob Morrison.
But isn't that like baseball? You swing at a pitch, you're frustrated, you start shaking your head. The next pitch is a borderline, it gets called against you. That's just how it's going to stack up, right? Got to be able to flush it, move on to the next pitch.
And the punch out, Terrell strikes out looking. 2 up, 2 down for Jacob Morrison in Coastal Carolina.
Well, the scouting report continues. 93 inside part of the plate on those lefties. A lot of left-handed hitters in this Auburn lineup. They're going to attack him on the inside.
And a final score in Chapel Hill as Ike Irish gets set to dig in. Arizona defeats North Carolina to force a Game 3 in the Chapel Hill Super Regional tomorrow. Irish through the right side and into right field. Ike aboard for the second time this afternoon. Auburn leading 1-0. Well, you knew he was going to have something to say about the end result here in this Game 2 of the Super Regional. And so far, so good for Ike.
You see the Coastal pitchers that walk by and they just kind of like stare at him like dang, like what, how do we get this guy out, right? It's a walk, it's a laser off the batter's eye, it's, you know, double in the gap, pulled into the 4-hole. Guy just gets done, man, as a hitter.
Redshirt senior from Tulsa, Cooper McMurray.
And the biggest thing about it for me is Ike Irish is I think he's just scratching the surface. And when I say that, it's the power.
And we welcome those that just watched Arizona take care of business against North Carolina to force a winner-take-all Game 3. Super Regionals tomorrow in Chapel Hill. Here in Auburn, Alabama, Lance Cormier, Roy Philpott, Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina, 1 win away from also punching their ticket to Omaha, Nebraska. And for the Auburn Tigers, an early 1-0 advantage after Ike Irish was able to cash in base hit moments ago, and Chase Fralick was able to drive in the lone run of the game after Eric Snow was walked in the second inning.
Well, how about the freshman coming up big, right? Fralick, the freshman. It's going to come down to if Auburn's going to continue to find a way to play tomorrow. You got a freshman on the mound, 3 freshmen in the lineup. That's basically been what they've had this year. Little mix of young, little mix of old, and a lot of talent there, but it's a matter of, hey, you're trusting the guys that got you there, and it's a lot of freshmen.
A lot of first-year players that have played like upperclassmen. McMurray, one of those upperclassmen, the redshirt senior. And now the 2-2 from Morrison, the Sun Belt Pitcher of the Year, who already has recorded 3 strikeouts today.
You know, one of them was McMurray. The first time he faced him was a breaking ball down. I think it was 2-2 count as well, but it's one of those now you're set up. You just went fastball, fouls it straight back. Look for an off-speed pitch right here.
Upstairs in a full count, and Irish will get a head start from first base.
Went off speed, went the changeup though. I like the breaking ball because it's been really good, and you saw the way McMurray chased it last time.
Pitch number 59 for Morrison. And a called strike three, his fourth punch out of the game to retire the side. Bottom of the third inning coming up. Auburn still leading Coastal Carolina 1-0. It's like 94 with that humidity. And I mean, it is toasty on the Plains. Wind shifting towards left field in the War Eagle wall here at Plainsman. Strike two to Barango. .234 this season with 2 home runs. Second straight start. Outside from Alvarez. What have you seen from Andreas Alvarez so far? Outside the fact it looks like he's in complete control, as we saw a weekend ago in the Auburn Regional.
Well, you're seeing a team playing a little bit more relaxed, right? A pitcher attacking with the fastball. It's been good, but the defense has made some plays for him.
First knock of the afternoon for Coastal Carolina. Leadoff man aboard from the 8-hole. And Ty Barango.
Nice job. Nice piece of hitting. Not a bad pitch. Slider down, goes down and gets it.
Just timed it out beautifully.
Right, absolutely.
The first hit of the weekend for Ty Barango. The DH again today. Brings us to Wells Sykes. 0 for 3 last night. Does have 5 hits in postseason play. The senior from Gilbert, South Carolina. And Alvarez, a rocket, will chase Barango back to first base, who does have 6 stolen backs this year. How aggressive do head coaches get in a game like this where the season is on the line and Auburn's got to survive and Coastal 1 win away?
What I think you're going to see, especially after the miscues you saw yesterday, I don't think you're going to see that aggressiveness on the base paths. You know, maybe you get a lead of 5 or 6. Yeah, okay, maybe try to pour on a little bit. But right now, tight ball game. I think you're going to play some station-to-station baseball.
That was a tight game last night, 7-6. Coastal won it in 10 innings. Hayden Bodine's home run in the top of the 10th ended up being the difference, along with Blake Barthol. His incredible play at second base in back-to-back frames at the very end. Close call outside for ball 2. Barango increases his lead, and that'll prompt a toss over from Alvarez. It was Sykes that ended up scoring the game-winning run in the regional final in Conway last weekend. Chanticleer was able to manufacture a run. 1-0 victory over ECU, and it happened late in the 8th inning. Single, stole second, moved to third on a flyout before Alexander drove him home on a sac fly. Alvarez battling back here as best as he can.
Hey, big AB right here with Bodine lingering on deck. Don't want to walk the 9-hole to face the hottest hitter in the Chanticleer's lineup.
And arguably the top catcher in America. Kevin Schnall confirming that to us in the postgame. Shot to Irish, who's there. Very loud first out. Caden Bodine.
Just, you could see Wells Sykes' head just drop after he squared that ball up to Ike Irish. That's 3 lineouts already for Coastal.
Bodine, a finalist for the Buster Posey Award, one of just 3 nationally. The defensive numbers have been off the charts. He's throwing out 38% of potential base stealers this year. And the offensive numbers, I mean, how often do you see a catcher at the top of the order and still maintain what he's been able to do defensively.
Right, that's the biggest thing, is the offense is still there, and it's a guy that's catching almost every inning, right? So you know the legs are tired toward the end of the season, and when the legs get tired, the bat starts to slow down. You don't have as much power and control with the bat. So to see that just shows you, obviously, preparation, but taking care of the body, doing what he needs to do off the field as well to be ready to play.
Extremely humble. Both parents were teachers, are teachers, and said he takes that aspect of his game from them. Popped up right behind second base. Derek Fabian is there, and the Florida transfer puts on the squeeze for out number 2.
Yeah, for Alvarez, I love that right there. Stays hard. That's 94 down in the zone. We saw the 2 home runs off the breaking balls I mentioned earlier, and it looked like he almost knew he was sitting on them.
We'll hear from Butch Thompson coming up. Has to be pleased with this start from his freshman Alvarez. And just grabbing that early lead. Any kind of early momentum after losing last night 7-6 in extras. Pitch number 34 from Andreas. Low and away, snap throw to first, and back quickly is Marengo. Two outstanding coaches building their programs the right way. Kevin Schnall, Butch Thompson. Schnall, remember, won the national championship at Coastal Carolina as an assistant in 2016 alongside the great Gary Gilmore, the Hall of Famer. And that came after 3 years at UCF before an extended stint the Coastal Carolina staff. So his first year back yielded a national title. Overall, this campaign, the only team in America right now with 50+ wins.
Well, I loved how he talked about, you had asked, hey, the culture. He says it's the same. You know, he was able to just continue to keep that culture the same, and the guys obviously believe in it.
5-pitch walk to Alexander. And so now runners at first and second, the tying run in scoring position for Coastal Carolina. Second walk issued by Alvarez.
We've seen a couple close calls from home plate umpire Joe Burleson from both sides, right? It's not just one side. There's been some balls that both the dugouts chirped a little bit. Fans get a little restless, but it's had a pretty good zone.
Fans are always restless. They're never satisfied. I mean, you win a national championship, the very next day, the headline is, can that team go back-to-back?
What's next year look like?
Right. Who's returning? Well, don't forget the UFL semi.
Squeeze play, just a little bit of everything. But yeah, sit back, watch, and enjoy.
Blake Barthol did.
Sit back, watch, and enjoy.
Blake Barthol did no sitting back late last night. Pitch in the dirt. Both runners had.
Try to shorten the rope for this really good Morrison pitcher.
Coach Butch Thompson all over it. Coach, appreciate the time. Best of luck rest of the way.
Thank you, man.
Year number 10 as the Auburn skipper. 2 Men's College World Series appearances so far, and he would love to make it 3. 2 more wins this weekend, but you have to win this one today. Otherwise, it's Coastal's time to shine once again. Jacob Morrison remains on the mound. 6 feet 8 inches tall. And a flare to second to Barthol. We've seen that song and dance before.
Yeah, let's just so that guy's got that play down, right? A little bit to the center field side, soft liner. Yeah, he's made that play before. Lucas Steele said, hey, I've seen this before too, because one of them was off of Lucas Steele, the one in the 9th inning.
And a moment, several moments late last night, early this morning, Tigers were threatening to tie it or win it. And then a little bloop like that over to second base, and maybe 2 inches further towards second. And it's a totally different story today in game 2. Instead, Barthol comes up clutch. Meanwhile, Eric Snow, active would be an understatement at the hot corner to start today. The rocket shot from Bodine, and then how about twice is nice, and he scored from first base on a single Played the only run of the afternoon so far as well.
I'm telling you, the more I see that second one, like that ball's behind him as he reaches across his body and makes that play. Gotta be on your toes over there.
Is that how you play those infield positions? Like literally
But
the balls of your feet?
Yeah, you'll watch those guys, right? They call preps as the pitcher's going. When they sink that thing up, boy, the guys are on their toes, ready to go, almost anticipating where the pitch is going to be and what would be hit. And that's why you'll see a lot of times the infielders will have the pitch com as well. And so they'll know, hey, change up. They can't give it away early by going into the hole, but they'll anticipate, hey, this ball is probably going to be pulled.
2 up, 2 down for the Tigers. Here in the top of the 4th inning. We will talk to Kevin Schnall, the head coach of the Chanticleers, coming up. Well, both of these teams have demonstrated outstanding grit, toughness, a certain degree of talent, obviously, to make it this far. And the Chanticleers perhaps undervalued as a number 13 national seed, given what we've seen from them so far this postseason in this 22-game winning streak. Their last loss all the way back on April 22nd against College of Charleston. 2 balls and a strike to Bristol Carter. Line right back up the middle for a knock and into center field. Sykes on top of it, and with 2 away, Auburn with a runner at first base.
Carter does a good job. You fight to get into a hitter's count. 2-0, he takes the fastball. 2-1, not taking this one again. Down and away, shoots that right up the middle. Love the aggressive hard turn, too, to first base. Coach Butch Thompson talked about, hey, it's, you know, trying to get that pitch count up. That's what a 2-out hit will do. Morrison was having a quick inning, but a 2-out hit extends it. Freilic's the guy who got him last time.
A single and RBI driving in Eric Snow from first base. Now the secret sauce for Coastal Carolina this year has been the outstanding pitching staff and a team ERA that ranks number 2 in the country coming into the weekend. Snap throw to first and back just in the nick of time is Carter. They've got power arms, and it goes just beyond the starters with the bullpen. We saw Lynch last night, the outstanding closer, and we've yet to see Riley Eichhoff this weekend. There are the numbers. And for pitching coach Matt Williams, coming over from South Carolina, Mark Kingston was let go a year ago in Columbia. He's been, if you talk to the team, and we have this week, he's been a true difference maker.
Well, to me, it starts with strikes. I mean, this team is 65% strikes. Watch out in the dugout. Top 8 in the country when it comes to throwing strikes. So they're attacking the zone, they're staying ahead, they're pitching ahead, getting in. Once they're ahead, they're putting guys away because they have the stuff, right? A lot of times you start throwing strikes, if you don't have the stuff, guys are going to get to you, start seeing balls spray around the plate. They have tremendous stuff. Guys are going to get to you, start seeing balls spray around the plate. They have tremendous stuff.
Ratio. 0-1 to Freilich, chop to first, and Thorndike 3 unassisted, and Jacob Morrison likes this start, needs some help. We'll talk with Kevin Schnall coming up. In the 4th inning.
Both coaches talking about the law of averages, the line outs.
I mean, it's this massive numbers game at times. Remember a movie or 2 about that. 0-2. Alvarez certainly has demonstrated in postseason play. He's ready to compete on the big stage. We could go against NC State, and so far trying to protect this 1-0 advantage. Today, that one sneaks through into center field. And Walker Mitchell has his first hit of the weekend, leadoff man aboard for Coastal Carolina.
Back-to-back good at-bats. Watch this ball, leaks over the middle. See, look, it's going away. You see Freilich go back over the middle, and Walker Mitchell back-to-back line drives. This one goes his way. Back-to-back innings, leadoff guy on for Coastal.
Mitchell at first base. His dad, Alan Mitchell, played football and baseball for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Here's Colby Thorndike. Good crowd made their way over to the Plains from Conway, South Carolina. If you're not familiar with the location of Conway, close to Myrtle Beach. They call it ball at the beach there in the different sports. The Chanticleers playing in the Sun Belts. Interesting dynamic between these two programs and athletic departments. The great Cliff Ellis was a basketball coach here at Auburn, late 90s, early 2000s. Also the basketball coach at Coastal Carolina. One of the few men in America to lead 4 different programs to the NCAA basketball tournament. Cliff watching this weekend with great interest to see who emerges for 2 of the basketball programs, at least, that he coached for. If you follow college baseball, you know how good they've been. You win a national championship, of course, that speaks volumes. On the ground ball to first base, Auburn turns 2. Well, right to McMurray, and he deals it quickly to second for the twin killing.
Yeah, this is perfect for McMurray. Right on the bag, he's already got his plant foot, nice, easy throw, clears the runner, gives Fabian the opportunity, right? You don't want to get the ball to him late. Gives it to him early, allows Fabian to put the tag on it. That's huge for Alvarez.
And Lance, you can feel momentum. It's been with Auburn to start, but
it's
maybe
teetering,
not clearly.
right? It's almost there.
But a play like that, you feel like it's not insignificant, obviously.
Right, when you start to talk about, like Coach Nall did, the lineouts.
And that is right off of Pato and off the helmet.
Right, the lineouts. Hey, what could have been, right? You're squaring up the ball. Now you get back-to-back guys on base to lead off the inning, and then a double play erases. It's almost, it's like it's right there. It's almost there. You're about to break open, but Auburn keeps making the pitches, keeps making the plays.
Chanticleers lead America in the hit-by-pitch department at 168. How do you instruct that? How do you teach that? Because at that number, it's not a fluke.
It's the culture we talk about. It's DNA, it's toughness, and it's just not giving in or backing down.
Here's Ty Dooley.
I mean, because your instinct is just, hey, get out the way just a little bit, right? It started at 8, 9, 10 years old. Get out the way. You don't want to get hit, right? Because it hurts then. Now, these guys have do a great job of they dig in. He says, we don't lean in, but we're definitely not getting out of the way. I mean, another thing that the coaches will stress. Had it last weekend, a guy named Dominic Listy for Clemson. Coach Eric Baggett said, he told him, I'm obsessed with getting on first base. Same words came out of Coach Nall's mouth. Team is just obsessed with getting on first base, whether it's a walk or hit by pitch.
The O word, obsessed.
Yep.
Of course, Clemson lost 2 games to Coastal Carolina this year, one in Conway, the other in Clemson. Crowd will start to make a little noise. Alvarez. The 0-2 on pitch 49. Served into left field in front of Terrell. And now the Chanticleers with a tying run in scoring position. 2 hits in the inning.
Yeah, 0-2 pitch. Got to be a little bit more out of the zone. 2 hittable. Again, same type of thing. Felix Gloves going back over to the middle part of the plate, especially when you're 0-2. It's so many opportunities to expand the zone and use some aggressiveness.
LSU starting to pour it on West Virginia down in Baton Rouge, 10-1. Duke leading Murray State 7-4. It's getting late in Durham in the 8th inning. And here on the Plains, these 2 teams have been back and forth. Late last night, early this morning, and now into Saturday afternoon. A first pitch strike to Barengo. I mean, we couldn't breathe last night with the way that game went after a 2-hour weather delay. And the back and forth nature of the comeback by Auburn initially. They were down 6-1. They tied it, forced extra innings. Fourth nature of the comeback by Auburn initially. They were down 6-1. They tied it, forced extra innings.
Both teams, just the way Auburn chipped away. Because it wasn't like it was just, okay, they had a good inning. Like they literally had solo runs in 3 straight innings. Then they put up a 2-spot. But then all of a sudden, when all the momentum goes to Auburn, the crowd, Coastal stays with it, gets the big hit, and they shut it down.
1-2.
It's the big hit, and they shut it down.
1-2. Could only sit and watch.
Another advantage count for Alvarez. Been burned the last couple.
Now just one strikeout today for the freshman right-hander. Fly ball to right field. Irish retires the side. Tigers leading Coastal Carolina 1-0. Top of the 5th inning coming up. Tennessee, Baum Walker, and the drama that will unfold in what you think has a great chance to be a 3-game super regional in Fayetteville.
Well, this is a matchup that if you all of a sudden said in 2 weeks that, hey, these two teams were playing for the national title, you would have gone, yep, that's kind of what we thought. But now they're having to play each other in the super regional after, what, 3 weeks ago, finishing up the year with them?
It does feel like this should be a matchup in Omaha as opposed to this weekend. Funny how that works out. Derek Fabian will lead things off. A ball and 2 strikes. Jacob Morrison, the Sun Belt Conference Pitcher of the Year on the mound. Number 51 in teal. And a potential first-round draft pick, according to some. He's yet to lose a game this year. 11-0 as a starter. Popped up towards shallow left field. Ty Dooley.
Hey, that's the pitch for me. It's the big curveball at the top of the zone. And you see Fabian goes after it because he knows it's been called a strike, so the guys have to respect the big curveball. And it's just tough to square up from his angle, out of his hand, with the curveball high in the zone.
Hot day on the Plains. Feels like about 95 outside. Top of the order in Chris Rembert. We mentioned that regional final last weekend in Conway, a 1-0 game. Coastal Carolina defeating ECU. And head coach Cliff Godwin. Pirates, that ended their miraculous run that began in the American Conference Championship. Well, the point is they won that game 1-0. The previous night it was 16-7. So it's a program that is built to win in different ways.
Right. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's also the culture that Coach Schnall teaches, like the toughness to be in the game when it's the tough ball game, but also they have the pitching and the hitting to take a team like that. And if you're going to give them runs and explode and allow the opportunity to save some guys, right? That's what they did in that big game, scoring all those runs. You could save some of the pitchers for the next one.
3 straight out of the zone to Rembert, make it 4. And the free pass to the leadoff man for the Tigers. And with 1 away, Auburn a runner at first base for Bump Terrell. At first base for Bump Terrell.
If I'm Bump Terrell right here, it's 2 Ks in a row, right? Get a mound meeting from Coach Matt Williams, the pitching coach, but they have been pounding him in. And if I'm a left-handed hitter right now, a couple steps off the plate, turn and burn.
UFL semifinals headed your way Sunday, as in tomorrow, the USFL Conference Championship game between the Stallions and the back-to-back freshmen, and Auburn in business with a 1-run advantage.
Well, it's not the fastball in, but it is a cutter in. Doesn't get to the inside part of the plate. Bub Terrell. Well, it's not the fastball in, but it is a cutter in. Doesn't get to the inside part of the plate. Bub Terrell on for Ike Irish, and the Birds are looking to fly high. How hot do you think it is in the parking lot? The concrete just soaking up the heat.
I'm going to say about $110. Maybe it feels like 120 up there. Folks, stay hydrated. Here's Irish. Popped up. Left side of the infield. Mitchell, an enormous second out. Now, Jacob Morrison, you're the pitcher of the year in your conference. You're 11-0. The stuff has been filthy, and you can understand why as Irish not happy with that plate appearance.
Well, it's confidence, right? Attacking the zone, and again, trying to tie up the left-handed hitters. Make your pitch when you need to. Boy, that was a big pitch. 92 on the hands.
First time today, Irish has not reached. Off speed and upstairs to Cooper McMurray.
Yeah, that's the first time I've seen him slow the arm a little bit, right? Little difference. You could tell that was not going to be the fastball. Didn't attack with it. Slowed up the arm speed on the curveball. That's how you make an adjustment.
Happened fast.
Yeah. Move on, next pitch, make the adjustment, and a nasty curveball.
Breeze starting to pick up towards left field and the War Eagle wall. One and two to Cooper McMurray. 2 for 4 last night. A couple of strikeouts so far today. There's the Breeze. The number of balls that Auburn hit towards the track yesterday. Could there be some more pop in the bats today as a result of the weather? Inside to McMurray, and they caught the inside corner. Morrison, 5th strikeout of the game, and something to say off the mound.
Yeah, love that right there. You go curveball.
So it's Sykes, Bodine, and Alexander in a 1-0 ball game.
A lot of moxie from Mr. Morrison last inning. Boy, 2 guys on, and you're at 3-4, and right at him.
And a laser into left. Bub Terrell over. Sykes with his first hit of this Super Regional, the leadoff man aboard. Now for the top of the order. After a good piece of hitting for number 20 in Teal.
Yeah, staying in the same approach. He had the line out to right field. The head dropped a little bit, showed some frustration, but next hit back, gets a pitch to hit, squares it up. Another leadoff runner.
3rd straight inning that's occurred for the Chanticleers. And 3 consecutive singles. And now it's back to 3 consecutive singles. And now it's back to the Buster Posey Award. By default, you're in that conversation of one of just 3 recognized, and there is activity in the Auburn bullpen. Cade Fisher trying to get loose, a left-hander. But Bodine, in case you missed the game last night, the difference, 2 home runs, threw out 2 potential base stealers for the Tigers, and just a quiet calm that changes the complexion of a lot of things. Standing ovation for Andreas Alvarez, and Butch Thompson set to make his first call to the bullpen in this critical moment. His team leading Coastal Carolina 1-0, and here comes Cade Fisher. The first pitch through the right side for a knock. First 2 aboard for Coastal Carolina. And the first hit of this ball game for Cade and Bodine.
Watch how pretty this swing is. Just a fastball over the plate, not trying to do too much, knows that the infield's pinched up the middle, and man, that's just a 4-hole special right there. Just handing the baton to the next guy. 2 guys on, nobody out. Coastal Carolina's got something brewing.
Trailing 1-0. Tying run in scoring position for Sebastian Alexander. Grounded out in the first. Walked his second time up. Right back to the mound, and Fisher not in time. Bases are loaded for the Chanticleers, and Alexander beat the toss from Fisher. It was a bit tardy on the delivery there. Well, you got one of your top hitters up to bat, trying to sacrifice 2 into scoring position, and the speed gets him safe at first base.
Yeah, you're right. The top RBI producer, Cade Fisher, doesn't approach the ball with the confidence. I mean, a little nonchalant, takes the turn, and want to see a little bit more energy with it because it's close. I mean, it's an easy out. They're giving you the out, but Alexander, too much speed. Now you got bases loaded.
What a moment for Coastal Carolina. Blake Barthol, last night's hero defensively at second base, 0 for 2 today. Tying run 90 feet away in the form of Wells Sykes. Barthol, the only player on this Coastal Carolina roster to start every game this year. Mr. Consistency, in more ways than one. Out of Parkland High School in Allentown, Pennsylvania. The 0-2 from Fisher. The 0-2 from Fisher. 334 this year with runners in scoring position. A knock here would be enormous. Bodine at second, Alexander at first base. Wells Sykes at third. Two other teams have already forced a winner-take-all Game 3 in their Super Regionals tomorrow in Louisville and in Chapel Hill. And that was Miami and Arizona finding a way to keep their seasons alive, and Auburn would love to do the same thing here. Home plate umpire Joe Burleson paused the action for a moment. Now back behind his catcher. The Auburn Tigers chase Fraley. Swing and a miss. Barthol retired. First strikeout for Fisher.
Only the second strikeout for Auburn pitching, but this one was huge. Bases loaded, nobody out. The fastball down and away. 88 still by you.
Auburn infield back at double play depth, and now
by you.
Auburn infield back at double play depth, and now sophomore from Lexington, South Carolina. Every pitch and its importance magnified. In this Auburn Super Regional. The toughness, the grit of Coastal Carolina has been tested multiple times. Last night, early this morning, and so far today. Last night, early this morning, and so far today. The 0-2 to Mitchell. Spun him away at 89 for ball one.
Good pitch right there, though. You got 0-2. Fraley wants the ball up. Fisher throws it right where he wants to. A lot of times guys will either go too high, too in.
You knew about Coastal Carolina and its elite pitching staff coming into the weekend. Jacob Morrison, Riley Eichhoff, who we've yet to see. The bullpen with Lynch. Cameron Flukie, who we saw yesterday get the start, put his team in position. Flukie down in the dugout, taking in the action here in Game 2. You wondered, could Auburn hold up in that department, along with its advantage on offense? Mitchell stays alive. Alvarez gives Auburn a chance today. And now it's Cade Fisher and his time after what we saw from Carson Myers yesterday. And the start by Sam Dutton. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming up for Walker Mitchell. And a great battle brewing once again between these two teams. Fouls it straight back. From a pitcher's perspective, if you're Cade Fisher and what he has seen so far from Walker Mitchell.
One word: frustration. because you're just frustrated. You can't get the pitch where you want, can't put it by him. So you got to give a lot of credit, right, to Walker Mitchell being able to just continue to just spoil good pitch after good pitch.
Bases are loaded.
Sorry about that, Roy. You can't let the frustration affect you, though, and that's the tough part.
Right. Hard to do.
That's where coaches will teach, right? Next pitch, continue to battle. Don't give in, because he's still sitting at a position with 2-2, right? He still has a pitch to work with. At a position with 2-2, right? He still has a pitch to work with.
Fisher versus Mitchell for the 10th time. Full count, nowhere to put Walker Mitchell. One more out of the zone, we're tied at 1.
And that's why you got to give a lot of credit to Walker Mitchell. I mean, he's been in defensive mode from the get-go, getting ahead quick, and now he's been laying off the pitches down and spoiling the pitches up.
Payoff on the way from Cade Fisher. Popped him up, shallow right field. Back is McMurray. College, originally from North Carolina in Lumberton. This crowd on the edge of its collective seat.
Well, the at bat before, Coastal's fans had the chant going. The out right there, a little momentum away from them. Auburn's fans get the chant going.
Ball 1 to Thorne. Ball 1 to Thorne. Now the redshirt sophomore awaits 1-0 offering for ball 2. Now the plate discipline we've seen from Coastal Carolina last week in Conway, so far here in Auburn, and in this at bat critical. Out in front at 77. Strike 1.
Well, how about the confidence? 2-0. Break off a good curveball. 77 in the zone as well.
Money time for Cade Fisher. And now a strike away from escaping this massive jam. The Chanticleers leave them loaded. This crowd erupts on the plains. And Auburn